If you were born June 1st to June 10th, you are Gemini Decan 2, and you are the most dangerous betrayal processor in the zodiac. Not Decan 1's guilt spiral, not Decan 3's cold erasure. You are the diplomatic assassin, the chameleon predator who adapts, documents, and disappears without a trace. Today, we're decoding the three-phase game that makes your silence a Cold War declaration. And if someone's watching this to understand why you vanished, it's already too late. To understand Decan 2, stop thinking human, start thinking computer. When you betray a Decan 2, you don't break their heart. You crash their Mercury operating system. Mars and Venus, the rulers of your Decan, gave you a dual processor. Mars runs your survival instincts. Venus runs your social camouflage. When betrayal hits, Mars doesn't rage, it initiates a strategic cooldown. Venus doesn't cry, it activates the diplomatic mask. Your emotions aren't denied, they're reclassified as low-priority data. You don't feel heartbroken. You feel system disrupted. And Decan 2 doesn't fix glitches with tears. You reboot. You disconnect emotional drives to preserve logic. This is why you appear calm, unbothered, even kind, while running the most advanced security protocol in the zodiac. The trap everyone falls into? The blind spot. Decan 2 is born with what I call the diplomatic mask, socially calibrated, polite, agreeable. You smile easily. You seem understanding. This creates a false sense of safety. Partners think, oh, they're so sweet, so reasonable, so safe. What they don't realize, that mask is scanning for weaknesses. Your charm isn't kindness, it's camouflage. You're hypervigilant. You see their insecurities before they voice them. But instead of exposing them, you file them, while smiling to their face. By the time they realize they're dating a double agent, the system's been dismantled. And the smile? It gets wider. Let's decode the three phases of the diplomat's game. Phase 1. Strategic cooldown. The moment you lie to a Decan 2, they detect it. Their brain calculates the threat, computes the loss, and initiates the cooldown. But you don't see fear or anger. You see calm. You see a partner who's seemingly normal, maybe even nicer than usual. This is the trap. You think, oh, they forgave me. We're okay. But inside, they've already toggled the OFF switch. They're actively downloading your behavior data, not to fix things, but to justify the inevitable exit. They're not solving the problem. They're executing a plan, and you're just complying with data collection. Phase 2. Evidence protocol. While Decan 1 spirals in guilt and Decan 3 erases the past, you're compiling an evidence log. Every lie, every public disrespect, every broken promise, screenshots, timestamps, voice notes. This isn't revenge, it's documentation. You need proof to override your Venus-ruled heart. The list protects you from emotional pain by turning it into cold, hard data. You tell yourself, I'm not crazy for leaving. Look at this evidence. You don't do this out of anger. You do it out of duty to truth. The Decan 2 mind needs to prove to itself that it was right all along. So you build the case file that makes the separation legally justified in your internal court. Phase 3. Diplomatic extraction. This is the end, and it's surgical. Decan 2 doesn't do dramatic breakup speeches. No long explanatory texts. No closure conversations. You just extract. Unreachable. Unavailable. Uninstalled from their reality like a program that never existed. This is a tactical maneuver designed to minimize collateral damage. You execute when your evidence log is full and your exit strategy is ready. You don't want to fight. You want to vanish. This leaves them confused, haunted, spinning their wheels trying to find logic, but there's no logic to find. To them, you were a partner. To you, they were a mission that got aborted. And missions don't get second chances. The world calls you cold, manipulative, toxic, but they're running on a different operating system. They're trying to decode a supercomputer using a children's book. Decan 2's betrayal protocol is the most effective because it preserves the self. You don't waste months crying over someone who didn't value you. You don't burn energy yelling at walls. You process, build the case, execute. But this power comes with a dark price. To kill your feelings, you kill part of your humanity. You win the breakup, but you lose your ability to trust anyone again. This is the curse of the diplomatic assassin. Your Mars-Venus duality makes you unbeatable in psychological warfare, but it also makes you unreachable in love. The question isn't whether you're cold. The question is, was protecting yourself worth becoming untouchable? If this decoded your silence, drop your Decan 2 birthday below and type mission complete. If this decoded your partner's vanishing act, you now understand. You weren't dealing with a heartbroken lover. You were dealing with a strategist. Watch the full Decan trilogy to understand all 3 Gemini types. And remember, your duality isn't a flaw, it's your edge. Master your operating system before someone else exploits it.